Hello there, I'm Dr. PC, the PC Doctor, medical PC genius extraordinaire, and today I will be performing open part surgery on this patient. This is the Manta build. A few weeks ago, she came into my office with her admin, who looks shockingly like my wife, and I quickly discovered that Manta was hitting temperatures well over 90 degrees Celsius under load. In a pinch, I was able to diagnose Manta with what medical professionals refer to as hot as ballsitis. There are many different causes to hot as ballsitis, but in Manta's case, pun intended, her condition stems from a buildup of unwanted growth in her loop that's been caused by her dyed fluid over time. It can be frightening finding out that you suffer from this condition, but fortunately for little Manta here, it is not life-threatening and can be cured with a full recovery after a simple procedure that involves ripping out all of her insides, cleaning them thoroughly, and reinstalling them into her carcass. Don't worry, you'll be asleep. As a final disclaimer, what you're about to see is a medical procedure carried out by a highly skilled, trained, and extremely good-looking professional and should not be tried at home. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let the surgery begin. Manta has been fully drained, and most of its custom water cooling hardware has been removed, save for its radiators and some tubing. Upon disassembling the CPU and GPU block, not only did we find heavy amounts of staining from the coolant, but there was also a significant amount of galvanic corrosion and solidified bits of the liquid that had built up over time. Upon further inspection of the CPU block, we discovered that the corrosion had begun eating away at the microfin area and part of the surrounding channel. You can easily see that the nickel plating of the affected areas has been worn away, revealing the underlying copper. Manta's situation is indeed much worse than we could have ever imagined. In fact, even if we were to clean the CPU block to perfection, its cooling performance is still handicapped by the fact that some of its microfin area is actually missing. The fins are designed with maximum surface area in mind, so they can absorb as much heat away from the core components as possible. Should the fins get clogged or damaged, the cooling performance of the block can be reduced significantly to the point of being unusable, which is unfortunately the case in our situation now. The metal on the GPU block doesn't seem to be eaten away at all, but it is heavily affected by galvanic corrosion as well, to a degree that is unprecedented in this medical facility. Now, as a doctor, the thought did occur to me to simply replace our CPU and GPU blocks for new ones, but bear in mind that we still haven't seen the inside of our radiators, which are most likely affected by some form of corrosion as well. And if we were to keep those in our loop, we would run the risk of our new blocks looking like these ones in no time flat. As a rule of thumb, it's good practice to flush and clean out your loop every 6 months, though you may need to clean it as often as every couple of months if using a pastel or dyed fluid. Good old-fashioned distilled water requires less maintenance, but that alone won't prevent corrosion in a mixed metal loop. Adding a biocide or antibacterial agent will greatly reduce the odds of unwanted buildup. Alternatively, you can look for verified premix coolants that already include these agents in them. Now, circling back to our patient here, I was able to clean the fittings and pump reservoir well enough, but the damaged CPU block is unusable, and I'm not confident that I'll be able to restore the radiators to a point where they're safe to use. With half of our loop gone, our GPU block is pretty much useless, which is a shame since it probably just needs a really good cleaning. Upon hearing this information, the admin has informed me on how she'd like to proceed. Retire Manta as a custom water-cooled PC, and trade its cooling solution in for something a bit more reliable. Fortunately, Manta's admin has very good insurance, so we're able to provide her some upgraded parts free of charge, including a Corsair H100i RGB Platinum SE, 240mm liquid AIO. Yes, it's still technically water cooling, but a closed-loop cooler is far more reliable and requires much less maintenance than a custom loop. Additionally, we'll be upgrading the graphics card from a GTX 1080 to an NVIDIA RTX 2060 Super Founders Edition. And you bet your bottom dollar that it's air-cooled. right, Manta is finally back up and running, and she's looking great. Temperatures are fantastic as well. We're hitting around 82 degrees Celsius at our hottest when rendering in Adobe Premiere Pro and Media Encoder. That's way down from nearly 100 degrees C, which is what Manta was hitting when she first arrived in my office a few weeks ago. Admittingly, our GPU temperatures are not quite as good as they used to be. We're hitting around 79 C at our hottest under gaming workloads, but that is still within a safe operating temperature. At the end of the day, we just weren't able to get Manta's custom loop back up and running due to severe damage to some of the hardware, which is most likely a result of a lack of routine maintenance. It's my professional opinion that this is an oversight which the admin herself should be held personally accountable for, as opposed to her husband. Like we always say in the medical field, clean your loop before there's poop. Fortunately, by simplifying her cooling solution, Manta is now performing better than she has in months, maybe even years. Till next time, I'm Dr. PC, the PC Doctor. Before you go, be sure to head to bitwit.tech and pick up some merchandise as a way to help support the medical practices we perform on sickly PCs. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more tech content on the way. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.